there's some jump scares in this movie that got me a couple of times, and it's just creepy the way they portrayed these evil entities that have taken this mirror has taken their souls, and they're pretty much corrupted and evil. Like,
yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's day 12 here on the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today is Oculus. It is part of our 31 Days of Halloween, October 12th, like I said. And this movie's a trip. I haven't seen it in a long time. I only watched it one time in my life. And that was like when it came out. And I remember Pedro, who's been on the show before, if you guys don't know already, he highly recommended I watch this, and I was like, all right, I'll get around to it. And then I ended up really enjoying this movie. But yeah, this was the second time I watched it. I also watched it 2 days ago, and I really enjoyed it a lot. What did you feel about this movie being your first time watch? Actually, before you answer me, hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to know how we feel about it, you're going to have to wait and do that first. So go do that, or go to patreon.com/thecalvincam. Join one of our 3 tiers. Help donate to the show. It's really helpful, and it goes a long way. So please do that. We got some bonus stuff over there for you that's coming. So that should be encouragement to do so. All right. Now I want to hear what you have to say, Anthony.
Okay. Now, I'm going to go into this movie and give you my opinion. This movie was a trip. I'll definitely agree with you on this one. This movie was a trip. This movie has really good pacing, actually. I thought it did.
It does.
The build-up for it, the background. What I really like is you're going through this journey in a historical fashion. Because you're seeing past and present as this, as you watch this film, you see them as grown-up kids and children. So you're getting a glimpse of the whole story, past and present, which I thought was really well done in this movie. I thought that was good. The cinematography is good in this movie. The acting is pretty good in this movie for these characters and these actors. I don't know I've ever heard of them. The only one I heard of is Katie Sackhoff, which is she plays Bo-Katan Kryze in The Mandalorian and other films. But
yeah,
I was like, Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. So I saw her and I thought, well, this is probably going to be a pretty good movie because I like her anyways. She's a really good actress.
That's exactly how I felt when I was watching it too. Because like I mentioned to my wife, I was like, "Holy shit, Katie's in this movie! I completely forgot." And she's like, "Who's Katie?" I'm like, "Oh, Bo-Katan." Oh, she's like, "Oh, yeah." Like, I think Katie's a phenomenal actress. So, yeah. But yeah. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No. So just the delivery of this movie was great. I really liked that. They made a promise at the end. But there's obviously a plot twist, and we'll talk about that. The kids, they make a pact to each other after this happens, and they get torn away from each other. They think I can't remember the kid's name. I'm so bad with characters' names. Tim. Yep. Tim's character, like, they made a pact. He makes a pact with his sister. Like, we're gonna break this thing. We're gonna break this evil mirror, and that doesn't end up happening. But I just like that. You get that part. They get the mirror. She's some sort of like antiquities person. Like, she's like
she goes to auctions.
Yeah. She's like a dealer or something. Or anyways, she gets the mirror, she brings it back to the house and puts it in, I think, the same room, in the office room. And then she goes through and gives him the history of this. And I think that she believes it, but Tim doesn't really think he still believes in this mirror and what happened to them. And he kind of argues with his sister about it. And you see that the mirror kind of manipulates them and shows different sheds of light of things that actually happen or don't happen. Like, and that's the trip in this movie.
And you have to realize, like, just the experience that Tim had with when they were younger with this mirror, because after the events occur, he is committed. So like they think that he's insane. He goes through years upon years upon years of mental therapy, and then finally is released back into the world. So like you have to like take into account like just how traumatic the events of what goes down in this film affects this character so much.
Yeah, and you see it in the beginning because he
Yeah.
shoots his father.
Yeah.
Like, but did he shoot his father? Like, it's weird like that.
It's
That's a
weird
trip.
like that. So no,
Continue.
No, it's totally fair. And then we have his sister Kaylee, who's played by Karen Gillan, who I think is also another phenomenal actress. For those of you who probably know her from Guardians of the Galaxy as Nebula, or she's been in Jumanji. She's been in a bunch of movies.
Yeah,
So.
Now I see that. I didn't remember what she was in.
Yeah, she's a great actress. And it's cool to see her do her thing. Because I think this was a pretty early role for her as well. I really think that I want to touch on the pacing. Again, pacing is so important to films, and I think that this is just one of those perfect examples of like, that's the best thing about this movie. I think is the pacing is just so perfect. It's solid. And it's not like this movie's that long. It's not that long of a watch, but it is like, it just keeps going. It hooks you in the beginning, and then you're just like, oh, what's the mystery? And then you're there for the ride. And yeah, like by the end of it, it's trippy. But I love the play on being like going forward and backward in time, and it's kind of like it does it so much that it eventually blends, and I think that that's really creative. I know that's not for everyone, because it's probably hard for people to keep up with like
It's confusing.
what's going on for real, and are we in a flashback? No, we're not in a flashback, but this character's in the same what like, it's trying to, especially at the end, because like at the end it gets like really confusing, of like what's real and what's not, where are we. So it's really cool, and I just love the idea of this haunted object just being so like destructive towards just, it's just a bad omen, a bad entity.
Well,
So
I don't. I was just getting this. I think you see it through. You see some of it throughout the movie. The entities, I think, the mirror takes them, their soul, and just captures them, and then they're just evil.
yeah,
And
I mean,
they
that's
just,
kind of how I
yeah.
perceived it.
That's
so.
why exactly. I mean, you see Katie Sackhoff. Like, there's some jump scares in this movie that got me a couple of times, and it's just creepy the way they portrayed these evil entities that have taken, this mirror has taken their souls, and they're pretty much corrupted and evil. Like,
Yeah. And that's the best part of the plot. But the base of the plot, for those of you who are wondering, is that this mirror is just kind of like an infection, and it kind of just like infects the home, and basically drives people crazy, and not in a way that's like, that's probably the wrong way to say drive people crazy, but like, it makes them see things that aren't actually happening.
yeah.
But makes it feel so real that it feels like it is happening, and then it kind of drives you mad. So
Yeah, so it's kind of like a lingering evil pestilence or something like
Yes.
that, right?
yeah, and I think that it's really creepy with the dad scenes a lot in this film. There's the mom goes a little mad, and then the dad's actually mad, and he like chains the mom in his room, and he's like, "Don't go in this room. I told you guys to not go in this room." Like, and but the mom's like clearly gone. Like, so it's just a lot that happens in this movie, and it's very confusing, but it's very good.
It's one of those you're probably going to have to go back and watch if you really, really want to like analyze this film and the plot and just everything about it.
There's a couple of really gross scenes too, in this film, and like there's one where Katie's Safov's character's like in front of the mirror, and she like sees her like C-section is opened, like it doesn't sit well, and that's kind of like when you see the dark presence like for the first time, like you see an evil version of her in the mirror, and it's weird. And then another scene that didn't sit well with me rewatching this was when when Karen's character bites the fucking light bulb.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, oh my god, that's so painful. Like, it was
Yeah,
painful.
the apple that had supposedly is the light bulb. Yeah.
And I also like Kaylee's character is just like so hell bent on investigating that like her dad was a good man, and he was not that way, and she like almost just is like hell bent on proving him like as an innocent person, and proving that to her brother as well, because her brother doesn't feel that way, obviously. So and so she goes on this whole, because the whole movie is about her just setting up like a recording studio on the mirror, trying to capture that this is an evil thing. And there's some successful parts in that, but then I mean ultimately it's like it sucks for her brother Tim, because in the end he's right back where he started. So but yeah, like, you have anything to add to that?
I just like how it was just like I said, portrayed the way they did this movie, like the pacing and just past and present was just awesome. And I liked it at the end. It gets a little creepier because you see all of the entities this mirror is taken, and they all come out walking, and they look through the window, and it's just like, it's so eerie and creepy. So I kind of like how, I mean, it's not a happy ending, but at the same time it's a creepy ending.
Yeah, it's not a happy ending, but it's all, yeah, it's definitely like
It leaves you you know, in this creepy atmosphere. When the movie ends, you're like, I think I need to watch a different movie. I think I need to watch a comedy or something. But yeah, that's the way it made me feel like at the end.
I totally get you. If I were to rate this movie, I'd give it a 4. I think this is a solid 4 movie. I think it's a great horror film. Definitely something you want to watch if you're looking to get scared. This is definitely going to do it. If you're one of those people who are prone to being scared, this is definitely not for you. So yeah, I'm gonna sit with a 4. How about you?
You know what, I'm gonna be alongside you again. I know I've been alongside Calvin on most of these episodes.
I've tried to pick him so that it's like I know that we'll both experience this the same way, and we've had a couple of episodes where we have different reviews, but
yeah. It's a 4. The best thing about this movie is the pacing. I think that the pacing is just so well done in this movie, and just the way the story is depicted with the cinematography makes this movie a 4 for me. It's a really good watch. It's one of the better Blumhouse movies. Like, I mean, lately their track record hasn't been so good. With what was Imaginary, and then Night Swim.
I liked
Megan was
Imaginary.
good.
I don't care what anyone says. I liked Imaginary.
Okay.
Night Swim was trash, though.
Yeah, Night Swim was. We reviewed Night Swim. If you want to go back and watch that one, but yeah, their track record's a little. I mean, Megan was pretty good.
Megan's good.
I liked Megan,
but Megan's fun, and Megan knows what it is.
Exactly.
Like,
so going to the past to seeing these other Blumhouse movies like The Black Phone and this one, these are really good horror movies.
Yes. Totally agree. All right. Before we end the episode, let's do some fun facts. Call it good. All right. So here we go. Okay. Had director Mike Flanagan agreed to film Oculus in the found footage genre, like Paranormal Activity, a number of studios would have backed it as early as 2006. However, Flanagan refused to film it that way. So
Interesting. He didn't want it to be found footage then?
He didn't want it to be found footage. Also, Mike Flanagan's amazing. Like
I'm not aware of him at all.
Mike Flanagan,
what movies has he done?
He has done a lot of really great things. There's a couple things that I actually want to cover, and if we can squeeze these in as bonus episodes, I would really like to. He's known for some shows that are really great. The Haunting of Hill House is a very award-winning, phenomenal show. Like, I'm talking one of the eeriest, scariest. It has probably one of the scariest jump scares that I've ever seen in my entire life from anything. So I think that it's fantastic. It also has the actor who played Elliot from E.T. in it.
Henry Thomas?
Yeah, he is. He's in it. He's in all of his
He's
stuff.
actually in a new movie. I just saw that it's something about a necklace, a cursed necklace.
Oh, yeah. I saw you put that up. Yeah.
I only put it there is because I saw he was in it.
Yeah, so he's in all of these. The second thing that I know him from is the follow-up from The Haunting of Hill House. It's not a follow-up. He does separate stories, but all kind of like feel in the same universe almost. But like it's just because it's his style. Midnight Mass. I cannot praise that show enough. It is incredible through and through. Every episode, every way. Oh my God. It made me think about so many different things. And it's eerie and it's awesome. And the acting is like on point. Again, what's his name?
Henry Thomas.
Henry Thomas is in it. And I really would love to do an episode on Midnight Mass. So
back to our fun facts.
Back to our fun facts, though.
We kind of got off topic.
I'm sorry. I got excited because I forgot Mike Flanagan was the director. So let's see. Mike Flanagan has included the Oculus mirror as an Easter egg in most of the movies and TV shows. It's in the basement of Ouija, Origin of Evil, the headboard in Gerald's Game, the walls in A Haunting of Hill House, and the Overlook Hotel in Doctor Sleep.
Cool. That's an interesting fact for sure.
Karen Gillan's first American role was Oculus. So I knew it was early in her career, and there it is. Karen Gillan was first choice to play Kaylee, as Mike Flanagan was a big fan of her work in Doctor Who. I haven't watched Doctor Who, so I didn't know she was in Doctor Who.
I didn't either.
This film was also filmed incredibly fast, filmed in 24 days.
Man, all these banger films are just
I wonder
the production time is like super fast.
I wonder if horror productions are quicker than
just a normal feature film, from a different genre.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna look into that. Most of the pictures in the house show either reflections of water. For example, in the upstairs hall, there's a black and white photo of a lake reflecting some trees. Another picture shows two identical white boats. Okay. Let's see.
You got one more?
I do. The definition of Oculus is 1, a circular or oval window. 2, a circular opening at the top of a dome. Or 3, an eye. When Kaylee is showing her brother photos of previous victims of the laser glass, one of the final victim photos is actually a photo of writer-director Mike Flanagan's wife, actress Kate Siegel.
Oh, cool.
That's
little Easter eggs.
That's also funny. Did not know that was his wife. Filmed in October 12th, premiered at the Toronto Film Festival in September 2013, but not given a proper release until 2014. Interesting. It was sat in a production hell, it sounds like.
Well, you kind of said that in the beginning because he didn't want to film it.
Director Mike Flanagan also directed Oculus Chapter 3, The Man with the Plan, in 2006. The short film was the short film which inspired Oculus. Okay. Let's do one more. Karen Gillan and Kate Sackhoff have both worked with Vin Diesel and Dave Bautista. Karen Gillan would star opposite Vin Diesel and Dave Bautista in Guardians of the Galaxy, and Kate Sackhoff starred opposite Vin Diesel and Dave Bautista in Riddick.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember her in Riddick. I gotta watch Riddick again. All right.
I don't. The first Riddick?
No, just Riddick. I think that's the third movie.
Oh, okay.
So, because
it was after the first.
There's Pitch Black, Chronicles of Riddick, and then there's just Riddick, I believe.
I haven't seen Riddick.
Yeah,
like Riddick. I've seen the other two though.
Yeah. All right, that's gonna be it for today's episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow on our next episode.